John Colo with growingyourgreens.com. Today I have another exciting episode for you, and today I'm going to be playing with something real fun. H2O, that's water for you guys. Now, one of the questions that I get a lot and very often is, hey John, should I filter the water that's going into my garden? Well, my answer is absolutely yes, and as you can see, I got a filter right here. This comes out of the house there, spigot, goes into my drip system, and I got a little filter here. But this is not the kind of filter that I'm going to talk about today. This is actually just like a mesh screen filter so that it won't let your drippers get clogged up. What I'm going to talk about today is actually a filter to filter the water coming out of the wall if you're on city water, because it contains things like chlorine, fluoride, and potentially other things that may be not so good for your garden. I mean, we all know, many of you guys out there may drink like purified or bottled water, but you put the tap water on your plants, but you wouldn't drink your own tap water. I'm in favor of filtering the water that you get out of your house as much as possible. In my shower, I actually have a shower filter, and then I actually have a whole house filter, and any water I drink, I'm definitely ensuring it's filtered. But I'm not buying bottled water because all this comes in plastic and this is not renewable, and some of these water companies are really bad news. According to some of the documentaries I've seen, they're literally bottling up city water by filtering it and then selling it back to you at exorbitant costs. So what we're going to do today, instead of pouring bottled water on your plants to get filtered water, I'm going to share with you guys how very inexpensively you can start filtering your water for your garden. Now, why is filtering water for your garden important? Well, when you drink the bottled water, it tastes a lot better, and that's because probably one of the main ingredients is the chlorine. The chlorine is put in the water to kill the microbes, the bacteria, so that there's no waterborne illnesses like Giardia or Cryptosporidium, which is two little things that could live in the water that could get people really sick. Now, this is good for the municipal water supply, but it's maybe not so good for us, and that's why people buy bottled water. But more importantly, in my opinion, it's not good for our plants, or more importantly, for the microbes in the soil. After all, this water has a chlorine to kill the organisms in the water. It's also, when it goes into your soil when you're watering, it also may damage the microorganisms and other things in your soil, so in the soil biologics. So for that reason, I recommend you guys use a filter. So I have had past episodes where I show installing filters, different kinds of filters. Today I'm going to show you actually two of the easiest ones, and the simplest one right here is actually called the Clean Water Fun. And I saw this actually at the Mother Earth News Fair. I got an episode back a while on that. And the reason why I like this is fairly inexpensive. It's under $30, and this, I believe, is primarily carbon in here. This is going to filter up to 10,000 gallons at 1.5 gallons per minute. So these are very easy to install. All you're literally going to do is basically unscrew the two ends here to expose where you're going to screw them in. And one end is a male. Wait, that's the female. One end's the male. So we're going to go ahead and first go through the pressure regulator and the one-way valve on my drip system, then go through the particulate filter. We're going to unscrew the adapter that goes into my drip system. And all we're simply going to do is just screw this guy into place. So now we got this installed. We can go ahead and turn this on. Now the water is going through the standard filter, the mesh filter, and now through our Clean Water Fun that's going to filter out the chlorine and other VOC, that's volatile organic compounds, in your garden. Now this is one way I recommend you guys do if you have a hose adapter for your drip system. Another way that may be smarter than doing it this way, because if this gets knocked, it's going to break, and I don't like too much stuff hanging down, is the way I'm going to do right now. And we're going to do that on this side. So this is the side that goes to my standard garden hose. And now we're going to need a new water filter. So for this side, I got a different kind, and this is going to be real good for you guys because I negotiated another deal. Now these water filters, this one's really inexpensive. As I mentioned, it's under $30. Shipping's probably about $8. And you can get it for under $40 delivered, but it only lasts 10,000 gallons. The guy in here, let me go ahead and open this up, and it ships in a flat rate envelope. The water filter in here is actually called the Boogie Blue water filter for your garden, and this one is effective up to 35,000 gallons. It greatly reduces heavy metals and other common toxins like pesticides, mercury, dissolved solids, and other volatile organic compounds. So this one's a little bit smaller. It has using a different filter media, the KDF media. So I like this a lot. And once again, we could screw it on like this. But once again, I mean, if you just knock this, it might break and you have a water leak, and that's no fun. So what I'm going to do is something very smart. You want to just take a small piece of stagnant extra hose. So actually this hose happens to be from my washer and dryer. I think I pulled this off because I got some stainless steel braided hose. But unfortunately this has two female ends, so we need a gender changer. Now, I know you guys could get a gender changer operation, but I happen to go down to Home Depot and got a little male-to-male gender changer here, so we're just going to go ahead and screw that guy in there real tight. So now we have a gender changer, the male and the female, and that's how it works, just like that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and screw in the female side to the hose bib right here. Make sure that's nice and tight. Then on the male side here, we're going to go ahead and screw in our Boogie Blue water filter. Just like so. And then finally, we're going to screw in our garden hose right there. And now because we did this, this could easily just sit on the ground just like that. It's going to be out of the way. And you know, you're not going to knock it or anything like that. We could turn this on. And now our water is being filtered. A Boogie Blue water filter is normally I think around $50 on their website, boogiebrew.net. But once again, I negotiated a GYG Growing Your Greens Only special. We'll get you guys that filter for $39 delivered anywhere in the 50 United States or territories of the US in a flat rate envelope. But the deal gets only better because check it out. Along with your Boogie Blue filter, you're gonna get right here the Boogie Brew compost tea. You're gonna get a small bag that's gonna make gallons and gallons of compost tea to feed your plants this upcoming season. So, you know, Boogie Brew, actually, they're a compost tea company originally, but they found when they sold their compost tea to people and people would use the common tap water out of their tap to brew the tea, the results were not as effective because guess what? The chlorine in the tap water is killing all the microbes inside the compost tea, and that's why they started selling the filter to filter the water out so that now the microbes and the beneficial organisms in the compost tea can thrive. So this is probably a really good kit to get. Number one, you got your Boogie Blue water filter. Now you could brew your compost tea in clean water. Another way, of course, you can brew your compost tea is if you just put out your water, you know, overnight. Some of the chlorine will evaporate and then use that to make your compost tea. But why not get the filter and the tea so now all your plants and all the soil biologics in your soil could be assured they're going to get chlorine-free water. I have noticed increases in growth from you know, changing to using the filtered water from the unfiltered water. Some people say it may not make a difference, but I truly believe that we want to get back to nature and model nature. In nature, you know, the rain doesn't have chlorine in it already dissolved. You know, rain is pure water, and with the Boogie Blue filter you're going to get more close to resembling and simulating nature using the city water. Now once again, this is only for the city water or municipal water supplies. If you're on a well, you know, this probably is not going to be the right filter for you. Then you want to consult, you know, somebody that deals with filters to get you the right filter to filter out some of the things that may not be so good in the water you're currently using. I guess I'm really happy now that I got filtered water, and you guys know about this Boogie Brew deal with the Boogie Blue filter and the sample pack of Boogie Brew compost tea you can now get. I'll put a link down below to order that special. Now this is for a limited time only, and the last thing I want to say is the Boogie Brew people, they're really good people, and they want to encourage you guys to recycle. So once this filter cartridge is expended, which it says it lasts on here up to 35,000 gallons, and that's up to, depends on your water quality, you could send this back to them for $5 off your next replacement order of the Boogie Blue filter. So that way you don't have to just chuck this. They're going to take this and recycle it. I mean, once again, Boogie Brew is located in California, and I think people in California are a little bit more progressive and recycling wise than other parts of the country. In any case, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode learning how I filter my water with a standard, you know, inline hose water filter. Once again, my name is John Kohler with growingyourgreens.com. We'll see you next time, and remember, keep on